Hey, won't you come home early today? When do you think you'll be off work?
It should be past 6 or so. If I hurry, I think I could get home before 7. Why? What's up?
That's pretty late. Try and get home earlier. I'm so hungry that I'm starting to get low blood pressure. After you get back from hanging around, make some food.
You say that, but it's still early evening. How about you eat a snack while you wait? There's some chocolate and chips in the cupboard, right?
I already ate that stuff a while ago.
You already ate it? I just bought those yesterday. There should still be some left.
Nope, we're all out. What else was I going to do? I was hungry. I have a big appetite because I'm premenstrual right now.
I bought so much of each, though.
Not only that, but all this laundry is starting to stack up. The floor is a mess, so get home soon and clean up, okay?
Well, listen. I feel like you haven't helped out with that stuff even a little bit. Even just vacuuming would have been fine.
Why do I have to do it? I hate doing chores.
Yeah, no, you're right. I was just bringing it up, that's all.
You knew before we got married that I can't do cooking and stuff like that. You married me while being aware of that, right? So don't try and make me do chores all of a sudden.
It's not like I was making you or anything. I'll finish up work as quick as I can and head home. I'll make you your favorite salmon dish, so cheer up, okay?
You're really trying to lure me in with food? Don't treat me like a child. Whatever, it's fine.
By the way, I bought a couple tickets from a client for that theater group you like. You still like them, right? Do you want to go? It's been a while.
Wow! You have a client that'll do something like that for you? How generous!
We used to go see that group all the time before we got married. It'll feel like the old days, huh?
I do like them, but since that was before we were married, I feel like I couldn't say no when we used to go together. I'm actually the kind of person that prefers to see theater on my own.
Oh, are you really? So you basically went with me against your will. Jeez, I'm sorry.
It's whatever. That was a long time ago. But anyway, if you're giving me a ticket, I'll go by myself.
Ah, okay. Got it.
Just get home soon. Don't forget to get the ingredients you need on your way home. See you later.
Okay.
Grab some eggs and hot dogs on your way home, okay? I ended up using all of them this morning.
Okay. The usual is fine?
It's fine if it's an expensive brand, as long as it's delicious. For eggs, grab the free-range ones on the top shelf. Those ones don't smell bad, and they taste great.
Oh. Okay. You're really something lately, aren't you?
How so?
You've gotten really into cooking lately. You said you hated it, but you've been really good at it. I was just a little surprised. That fancy dish you left in the kitchen this morning looked delicious.
I know, right? I can do anything. Everyone thought it was incredible when I brought it into work. I might really have some natural talent for cooking.
Also, speaking of that, how about my share of it?
That food is mine, not yours. I don't have the time to make another one.
But making enough for one isn't that much different from making enough for two, right?
Making side dishes and stuff would add a lot more work. Cooking is a lot of work.
Well, I suppose that's true. Since I'm normally the one cooking, I get what you're saying, but...
It's more tiring for someone who isn't used to it. But the fact that I was able to make lunch for myself is progress, right?
That's true. I bet your cooking will only get better from here on out. Not just lunch food, but dinner courses as well.
I could if I felt like it. But even if I did, I wouldn't make it for you.
Oh, okay then. Well, I'd be happy if you did make it for me one day.
What? Just don't forget the groceries and get home quickly. You got that? Hello? Are you listening?
Well, there's something that's worrying me.
What?
You were making hamburgers this morning, right? To bring to work? Those little ones with cheese on them. Sliders or whatever.
Yeah, I did. What about them? They were the best ones I've made so far. My lunch today was a masterpiece! What, are you saying you want to eat it too? No way. The leftovers are going to be my breakfast.
No, it's not that. You made a little face with the fries, right?
Yeah, I did. So what? What of it? You really remember my cooking well, don't you?
That's what I thought. Well, it got me a bit worried. But it's nothing. Alright, I'm going to get back to work.
What in the world was bothering you? You're a weird guy. Don't forget the groceries!
Good work today. If this is about the email from your business partner, it hasn't come in yet. Actually, it's not about that. Then is it about golfing with the boss next week? I'm going to go and pick him up that day, and you're going to be meeting us there, right? It's not about that either. Well, then what is it? You've never contacted me about anything other than work. What happened? I want to ask you about your lunch today. It was homemade, right? My lunch? Well, yeah, but... Do you know who made it? What are these questions? My girlfriend has been making them. She's been going out her way to make them for us every morning before work. Oh, is that so? It might be weird for me to ask this out of nowhere, but... What do you think about her? Why would you ask me something like that? It's not like I've ever asked you personal things about your private life. Right, sorry. Wait a second. You're jealous of me, aren't you? The way you were looking at my lunch seemed like you were pretty jealous. Actually, I was looking for a different reason. You might think it's weird for me to ask this suddenly, but... Those lunches are from my house. I think. Huh? What are you talking about? There's no way. What happened? Are you tired or something? If something's up, tell me. My wife's been making lunch every morning. But it seems identical to the lunch you were eating. I mean, what in the world is that about? What? What do you want about? I don't know anything about that. I'm serious. The lunches were one and the same. The little cheeseburgers, the fries. The fries were made into a big smile. That's exactly the same as what my wife's been making. That's just a coincidence, right? It's a really common style of lunch. You don't think my girlfriend and your wife could have just looked at the same recipe? But even the lunchbox was the same. Surely that must be strange to you too? Plenty of lunchboxes look really similar. You just thought it was the same, no? I know I didn't mistake it. The one you had was made of tin, right? Yeah, but... There are a lot of tin lunchboxes out there, so I'm sure they just got the same kind. But that lunchbox you used was given to us by my uncle a while back. It should have my initials on it and everything. Huh? But I think my girlfriend got me that lunchbox. I thought it was Kay, from her name. There is no other lunchbox like that in the world. I have a picture from when my uncle gave it to me. I'll send it to you. So, this is it. It's exactly the same as the one you had, right? It really is. So, that was your lunch then? Huh? What does this mean? Are you saying my girlfriend is the same person as your wife? What's your girlfriend's name? My wife's name is Karen. Are you serious? That's my girlfriend's name too. Just like I thought. I don't want to believe it, but there's no mistake. I'll tell you right now, I had no idea, I swear. I wouldn't have started dating her if I had known she was your wife. When did you start dating her? About 3 months ago. How did you meet her? From a dating app. After talking for a week, I asked her out on a date. So she downloaded the app and hid the fact that she was married. Yeah, I guess so. By the way, I heard something very interesting from my assistant. And? I heard when you were out drinking last week, you were bragging to everyone about dating a married woman. You were drunk and all hyped up. Did I say that? I don't think so. Apparently, a few other employees heard that as well. They said you were bragging about a colorful girl with a butterfly tattoo. My wife also has a butterfly tattoo. So you really didn't know anything. Well, I'm sorry. It's true that I'm into married women. I used a sketchy website where you can meet with married women. That kind of thing exists? Yeah, there are a lot of them. But I really didn't know that Karen was your wife. You've got to take my word on that. If I had known, I never would have met up with her. I'm the kind of guy who wants to avoid trouble. But you did know she was a married woman, right? You're messed up. And wanting to avoid trouble and dating married women is kind of a contradiction. Well, what can I say? It's just a fetish. Plus, there are a lot of unsatisfied women out there who are looking for a little excitement. This isn't your first offense, is it? You've really got to stop doing this kind of thing. First offense? It's not like I'm some kind of criminal. But any of these husbands consume and demand money. Adultery is really unethical. Wait a second. You're not saying that you're going to demand money from me, are you? I'm begging you. Don't tell the company, okay? I'll think about what to do with you later. For now, the issue is about Karen. We need to do something about her first. I seriously didn't know. She never mentioned anything about you to me. So please, don't get any more involved with this. Just discuss this between you and your wife. Are you sure about that? But she might end up choosing you. She can choose me if she wants, but I'm absolutely done with her. So, Johnny, you have another girl, don't you? With the way you're talking, there has to be someone else. Damn, are you sure you're not a detective? Or maybe a psychic? But yeah, I have another girl too. I wanted to talk to you before I confront my wife about all of this. I wonder if you'll tell me everything, though.
How was your lunch today? I put in your favorite fried chicken this time.
It was so good. Thank you.
You can't imagine how much work it took to fry all of that up early in the morning. You ate it all, didn't you?
Yeah, of course. I finished everything.
Good. I wonder what snacks I should put in there for tomorrow's lunch. I have my little loser buy it from the store, so don't hesitate in asking.
How about pork rinds? I think they're cheap at the store today.
What? Every store has different prices. What are you even talking about?
I'm talking about the one that's really close to my house. Duh. Or I could get it from the meat counter on 2nd Street. You really like that place's corned beef, right?
How do you know that? Have I talked about that before? You're acting kinda weird today, Johnny.
This isn't Johnny.
Huh? I don't get it. Is this some kind of joke? If this isn't Johnny, then who is it?
You can't tell. Hello? It's your favorite loser at your service.
What? What are you saying?
It's the guy you were calling a little loser earlier. Brad! Sounds like you are hard at work again making lunch.
What? Why is Brad messaging right now? Johnny? What's going on?
I'm just borrowing his phone. He's holed up in the office right now. So, why are you in contact with Johnny? And what's with the lunchbox thing?
You think I'm fooling around? How'd you know, Johnny?
The lunchbox Johnny was using was exactly the same as the one my uncle gave to me, so I did some snooping. To hook up with your husband's coworker. You're something else, aren't you?
Huh? What is this? I'm so irritated right now. You're really mouthing off today.
Until now, I've tried to be careful not to set you off because it's a pain, but it doesn't look like I'll be able to hold back my anger today. So, what the hell were you thinking? How could you do something like this to me?
You're annoying. You've heard everything from Johnny anyway, right?
Well, yeah. About how you met him through a website for affairs?
That's right. It's because you weren't good enough. I wanted some excitement for once. Being with you was so boring.
You didn't know that Johnny is my coworker?
At first I had no idea. But then after getting to know him, I found out. When he said he worked for the same company that you do, I put two and two together.
So if you found out, then why didn't you tell Johnny?
There was no reason to. I had planned to move on to Johnny, so I didn't really care. It was only a matter of time before I sent you packing.
Ah, got it. Well, do whatever you want then. I want nothing to do with you.
Wow, you're so manly. I wonder if you even understand that you're losing to Johnny. Well, that's how it is. No matter how you look at it, you're a pathetic little man. Are you self-aware at all?
It's true. I don't think I'll match up to him. There's nothing I can do. Especially because he's seeing 8 girls at once.
Huh? What are you talking about?
You don't know, do you? He likes getting with married women, so he's actually got 7 other girls just like you. This is pretty bad, but he's got a ranking of all his women too. Since you're the youngest, you can't put the lowest on the list.
Don't say ridiculous stuff like that. There's no way Johnny would do something like that. He's head over heels for me. He was so happy with the lunches I made him and everything.
He told me he wouldn't even give a pig the food you made for him. Actually, he said out of all his girls, your cooking was the worst. He's just going out with you to kill time. He said that you can be replaced by anyone. I don't think he has any intention of marrying you.
There's no way! What the hell? You've been spouting nothing but lies. Give Johnny the phone. Now! There's no reason for me to talk to you.
I'm looking at him as we speak, but he doesn't want to talk to you.
Why? You just don't want to let me talk to him. I know you're jealous, but this is a bad look.
It's not that. You were the one that knew Johnny was my coworker, but didn't say anything, right? That's what Johnny is mad about.
That's not even a big deal. It shouldn't be a problem just because he's your coworker.
But if the affair was discovered by the office, that'd be bad, no? Actually, he's in a lot of trouble right now.
What? What do you mean? Did something happen?
I went and contacted all his other women's husbands. It's probably going to become a lawsuit nightmare from here on out.
Huh? What do you think you're doing?
I thought I'd sue him too, but I figured I'd tell my superiors first. I think it's gotten all the way up to upper management and everything. Since Johnny is bad for PR, he can't just leave it be. But if all this is fine, then by all means, be with him. Marry him for all I care. Although I don't know if he'll want to marry you.
Is he going to be fired?
I'm not sure if he will be. But he can't just be left alone, can he?
Please, I want to talk to him. Put him on.
I just asked him, but... like I thought. He said he doesn't want to talk to you.
Why? Did he say anything about me?
I think it's better if I don't tell you.
Just stop it with that. Tell me right now.
He said you're bad luck and that he's never going to meet with you again. But who's to say?
I can't believe this is happening to me.
What a shame. All that wasted time in the morning. Oh well. I actually thought the food you made looked good, but I guess looks can be deceiving. No one can get good at cooking that fast.
OMG, who do you think you are? Are you making fun of me?
Am I making fun of you? Well, yes, I am. For getting caught, bragging about your cooking, but actually being terrible, and getting dumped by your secret lover. I guess you were trying to take advantage of me with those tasteless lunches. You should probably make those fries in a sad face tomorrow. After that, among Johnny's women, a shocking character was discovered. One of them turned out to be the wife of one of his clients. And as you'd expect, the upper management wouldn't have it, and they forced him to resign. It seems Johnny got very busy dealing with all the money being claimed by his women's husbands. By the way, it looks like Karen had a change of heart, because she started doing the chores. I suppose she thought it would have been bad to end up being tossed aside by me. She even started cooking me meals from scratch, but... thinking all of this was too little too late, I disregarded her and left the house. I don't want to sound mean, but her cooking was like eating roadkill. Currently, I'm discussing what to do about settlement with a lawyer. The whole experience was painful, but now I'm enjoying a life where I don't have to be pushed around anymore. When I was living with Karen, I felt that my daily life was tasteless, but I didn't know what tasteless really was until I tried Karen's cooking.
My mom just passed away. The person that would always laugh with me when there would be happy things in life, and the person that would cry with me when there are sad things in life, she'd be there for me. My mom breathed her last breath. She's gone forever now. I'll never be able to see her again, at least not on Earth. She can't hold my hand now, and she can't touch my face anymore. She went to somewhere that's unreachable for me. She looks as if she's sleeping peacefully, but no matter how many times I called out for her, she won't wake up anymore and ask me what's going on. It feels like my heart has a gigantic hole in it. I feel so lonely and deserted all by myself, I can't stand it.
Is that so? Well, it's inevitable that all living beings face death. That's just nature. There's nothing that us humans can do something about it. Think of it as something positive. She's been suffering from an illness for a long time, and now she's free from it. She's resting now and found peace somewhere else that's much better than here. Don't be so sad about it. It was for the better. You need to think positively.
What did you just say? Did you really mean that?
She's found her way back to father-in-law. Her husband, I bet she's much happier wherever she is at right now. Honestly, it's much better that this has happened, because she would have had to suffer who knows how long. Her having to be in agonizing pain that couldn't even be suppressed by painkillers, it's not worth it. Also, it isn't like she died young. She passed away after living for a long time. This death wasn't a bad death. It was more of a good death.
What? Are you being serious right now? A good death? How can you say that she didn't die young, so it's a good thing? She's only 63. That's much younger than the average life expectancy that we see in the modern day. All she did her whole life was work. But you call this a good death rather than a bad death? She didn't even get a chance to finally go and do something that she wanted. She didn't get rewarded for the hard work that she's done for her whole life. I feel like I haven't done enough for her, and that I should have been given more time to spend with her. There are still so many things that I wanted to do with her. The fact that I've lost that chance makes my heart shatter into pieces. But you say that her death was a good death? Don't you also have a mother of your own? Would you have said the same thing if this was about your mom and not mine?
I'm sorry, I think I might have come off in the wrong way. That's not what I meant. I'm sorry for making you think that I was insulting you or something. You're misunderstanding me. I'll try to be the best husband that there could be so that you can heal from this incident, so please don't be so mad. I don't think it's the right thing for us to be arguing when mother-in-law has passed.
So when are you going to come to the funeral then? The service will be held soon enough. Are you on your way yet?
About that, I don't know what to tell you, but I told my mom about how mother-in-law has passed away, and she told me that I dare not show up to the funeral. It's not like even if I attend the funeral, she'll come back to life. Plus, my mom told me that there's nothing that I can really do even if I show up to the funeral anyway.
What? Did she really say that? So, her in-law passed away, but not only is she not going to be attending the funeral, you won't come to the funeral either. What kind of ill-mannered crap is that? I've never heard of such a thing before in my life. That's ridiculous.
You know my mom is like a little girl. She's a scaredy cat and has bad reflexes. She wouldn't do well at a setting like a funeral service.
So she's not going to show up to my mom's funeral is what she's saying, huh? Does she not remember what happened when your father passed away? Your mom was so devastated about his death that my mom took care of most of the administrative processes for the funeral. How can someone be so backwards like that? Now that the tables have turned, she doesn't want to repay my mom for what she's done for her?
I told you, my mom is just different than your mom. My mom is sensitive and timid. She isn't the type to do well at a funeral. It's just a bunch of bad vibes going on. Your mom was strong, so she wasn't really affected by it that much. You need to understand and get over the differences in people. Just because your mom helped out like that doesn't mean that my mom can either. Why are you making it look like she owes your mom? It's a little forced, don't you think?
Wow. Okay, cool. I understand. I'm not going to waste my energy on trying to make someone that doesn't want to come to my mom's funeral come to it. But don't you think that it's a little too rude that you don't want to come to the funeral either? Isn't it common sense that you should attend your mother-in-law's funeral? In what world does a son-in-law not attend their mother-in-law's funeral? I've never heard of such a thing, unless it's an emergency. And it's all because you'll catch bad vibes? I'm already messed up and weary from having to deal with her passing. Stop torturing me by being stupid and just come to the funeral.
What if I catch some bad energy because I went to the funeral? I don't want something like that to happen. I might get unlucky and die or something, and I don't want to die yet. I have things to do in my life.
What the hell are you talking about? You are the one that didn't miss a single minute of the funeral that took place for your dad.
That's only because it's my dad's funeral. I'm also his oldest. I'm sure that if there were any demons or some evil spirits that came by, my dad would have protected me from them, so I could count on him when I went to the funeral. That's why I was able to get over being scared and be present for that one. It's different for your mom. I mean, think about it. It's just a label that she's my mother-in-law, but in reality, she really is a stranger at the end of the day. There's no blood related with that. Also, she has her own kids that can't attend the funeral for her. Why do I have to show up and act like I'm sad?
So you're gonna insist on not coming, is what you're saying, huh? Sure, let's just say that I understand where you're coming from, so I let it slide. But don't you think that you should at least say goodbye to her for one last time? Why would I want to continue living the rest of my life with some guy that can't even say goodbye to my mom passing away?
Okay, then tell me when the funeral service nears the end so that I can come say goodbye. I'll at least show up since you really want me to.
I'm an ordinary woman who's been married for 3 years now, coming up on my 32nd birthday this year. I loved my husband, so I got married to him. And besides the little clash that I have with my mother-in-law here and there, I thought that my marriage wasn't too bad at the end of the day. When my mom passed away, my husband acted like a stranger and told me that he wasn't going to come, and didn't consider even one bit about how I was feeling about the whole situation. I was so shocked about how rude and ill-mannered he was. He refused to show up to the funeral service, even though my mom was present for his father's. Although it made me resentful of him because of the way that he acted, I was too busy mourning the death of my mother that I didn't have much energy to even argue with my husband about his behavior. I really didn't think that he'd refuse to show up to the funeral like that, even if his mom told him not to go. He wasn't the person that I thought he was. I couldn't believe that my husband would do that to me. I lost all the trust and faith that I had in him, and he really didn't show up at all to the service, just like he said that he wouldn't. Where are you, and what in the world are you doing right now? Didn't you say you'd at least come here at the end of the funeral service? How could you really not show up at all? This is your mother-in-law. My mom passed away. Do you know how shameful it is every time when somebody asks me where you're at? I don't even know what to say to them. What, that you're scared of getting haunted by spirits?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to the funeral. My mom's telling me that her back's killing her right now, so I had to take her to the doctor.
Are you trying to purposefully get on my nerves or what? Does she not have anybody else to take her? You literally have siblings. Her back's been chronic for how long now? Was it really going to be a problem if someone else took her instead? So, for one, you're not going to even say goodbye to my mom, but you're going to dismiss the opportunity to do that by using your mom as an excuse when someone else could take her to the hospital.
Why are you twisting the situation so much? You're making me look like a bad guy right now, as if I deliberately tried to not come to the funeral. Just like you have feelings for your mom passing away, I have feelings for my mom having a hard time because her back is giving her a hard time. Why are you being so uptight and petty about a son bringing his mom to the hospital because she's in pain? Also, don't you think that you should focus on people that are alive and living right now than the people that are in the past now?
You act as if my mom didn't do anything for you at all when she was alive. Every time you came over, she'd make you your favorite food and send us back home with money in your pocket. Hasn't she done enough for you to at least come to her funeral?
I know that she liked me and I was trying to go at the end of the day, so don't forget about that. But my mom's having a hard time right now. What else could I have done? Dead people are going to stay dead and living people are going to live on.
So you're really not going to come is what you're saying.
Stop acting like I'm not going because I don't want to. I can't go because I literally am not capable of showing up right now. Your brother and you are both at the funeral, so it doesn't really make much of a difference whether I go or not at this point. Quit bugging me about this and stop villainizing me. It's getting annoying.
I don't have anything else to say to you. Fine, don't come. You don't have to. I doubt that my mom would want to see you at her funeral anyway.
Don't be too sad or else it'll hurt your mom's feelings. When I get done with the hospital, I'll text you back.
I had no idea that my husband would turn out to be such a cold-hearted human being who doesn't care for the dead. But I had at least a little bit of hope left that he would show up when he told me. However, he ended up not showing up to the funeral. The man that I got married to because I trusted and loved betrayed me for something that I had no idea would be the reason. I wasn't expecting something like this to happen, and that he'd be so selfish and unempathetic. When this happened, the love that I had for my husband was gone in an instant. It was unbelievable. I decided to get a divorce with him. I had even more depressing things to deal with after the funeral itself.
Are you still at the funeral? We just got back from the doctor, but it seems like she's in a lot of pain today. She's telling me that she doesn't have the energy to make dinner. She says that she wants to eat some spaghetti and meatballs that you make. When are you going to be back home? Make sure to hit up the store and get the materials on your way back if you don't have the stuff already at home. She's waiting on you, all starving.
Honestly, I don't mean this to be disrespectful, but are you brain dead? Do you really expect me to make dinner for you guys after you've made a mockery out of my mother's death by disrespecting her like this? You didn't even have the common sense to tell me any encouraging words to make me feel better about the whole situation, and went as far as to not coming to my mother's funeral either. And you're trying to make me cook dinner for you two now? Go and get some groceries, huh? Are you kidding me right now? You must think that I'm some kind of a joke, don't you? You didn't even have a sense of dignity to at least be thankful to my mom for the things that she's done for you. And it turns out that at the same time, you don't have any respect for me either.
No, I said that I'm not going because I don't want that whole bad energy and demon stuff to get inside of me and whatnot. What would you do if I ended up dying because I caught something at the funeral? Your mom would be so upset to see what happened to you in the afterlife. She's trying her best to find peace, so let's not argue with one another and worry her about us anymore.
Don't put my mom's name in your mouth. I want to thread your mouth shut right now, but I can't. So just get out of my face and keep quiet.
How can you say something like that? It's rude and condescending. I understand how you feel right now, but you're going a little overboard with your wording. If the funeral's done, come back home now. If you don't feel like stopping by the store, I'll go and get the materials myself. You just cook it. Is that good enough for you?
I said that I can't go right now. I'm talking about the inheritance stuff with my lawyer right now, so stop bugging me.
Inheritance? Did she have something that she left behind? What kind of property did she own? I thought she was poor.
Poor? My mom. Don't you know that she saved up a lot of money with my dad? It's nearing around $800,000. She saved and didn't waste even a dime if it wasn't needed to be spent, so that she could pass it down to us.
Wow, is that true? Well, she was living in a small house and didn't seem to own anything expensive, so I thought she didn't have a lot of money. She really seemed like the peasant type, but I guess it was just a facade. I can't believe it.
What are you being so excited about? What does me inheriting stuff from my mom have anything to do with you?
Oh, don't talk like that now. We're husband and wife. What's yours is mine too. I'll head over to where you are right now. You're still at the funeral service, right? Just wait a moment. I'll be on my way now.
You don't have to.
I want to as the man. I don't want your brother to be taking all of the money.
First of all, my brother's not the type to be greedy, so don't get it wrong. It has nothing to do with you how much I inherit or not, so take your nose out of my business.
What?
I'm gonna finish up whatever's going on here and go ahead and start the divorce process, so I hope you're ready for that.
What are you talking about all of a sudden, babe? Divorce? There's no way that you would do something like that. I won't accept it. I have no thought of getting divorced with you, so don't try anything funky.
I don't care if you accept it or not. I don't have the confidence that I'll be able to live on with you for the rest of my life after seeing the type of person you are. Not only were you no help when I'm in a bad place because of my mom's passing, but you refuse to even come to her funeral? I can't live with someone like that. What's crazy is that as soon as I bring up the topic of me inheriting a bunch of money, you want to suddenly show up to the funeral? You've proven yourself for what a horrible human you are to me, so I don't want to see you or your mom's face right now. Don't try to convince me to not get a divorce. I've already made my mind up, and it is over between us.
Did we really do that much of a wrong to you to be hearing something like this? What is so wrong about putting the life of the people that are still alive first before the dead ones? I was just doing my duty as a son. Is me being a good son really that bad enough of a reason to be getting divorced from you?
You're not in a position to be debating what's right and wrong right now. I'm tired and annoyed with you, so just get the divorce and have fun living the rest of your life with your mom, fulfilling your duty as a son.
Babe, that's not what I meant. You know this. I'll head over there right now, so let's talk about this in person.
Don't come over here. I don't care, and I've already made up my mind. My husband kept talking about how he doesn't want to get divorced. But as soon as my brother inherited all of the money, he didn't look back and agreed to getting the divorce. He didn't have any excuses to stay with me anymore. My brother was living with my mom and took her in even after he got married, and my sister-in-law did her best to take care of my mom when she was fighting her illness. There were no regrets in letting my brother have all of the money. Money can be made again, so it doesn't really matter after all. Meanwhile, my ex has been living with his mom again after he got divorced from me. His mom's been lazy, complaining about her hurting here and there all the time. He got tired of her very soon and wanted to get remarried to me, but I refused it right away and cut him off. I guess it's true that once you go through a big incident, your relationships with people become more clear to see. Those that will stay, and those that'll be gone will be gone. The only thing is that I didn't know that would be with my marriage, all because my ex decided to not come to my mom's funeral. I want to live on to make my mom happy, wherever she might be at right now. And this was my story that made me into the person that I am today.